Welcome to video 2 in the series of 5 videos all about creating workshops for the community. I'm Julia Hankins and I work with other kids yoga teachers and wellness professionals to support them through training and mentoring. And I also I'm the founder of Wellbeing Adventurers and I'm children's wellbeing consultant and mentor. And so in the last video, we talked all about why you might want to deliver a workshop in your community, whether that's for children, for families, or for adults. And in this video, we're going to be talking all about the kind of gathering ideas, pre-planning stage. So we're not getting stuck into the planning just yet, although if you're anything like me, you can't wait. You're like, I've got a million ideas and I want to write them all down, and yeah, I've seen this really cool thing and I want to include this and I want to include this. But I think that the gathering idea stage and the pre-planning is really, really useful and important for your workshop success. And I highly recommend that you consider some of the things that I'm talking about today so that you don't make some of the mistakes that I have made in the past. So there's some main things that we're going to think about. And the first thing is why. Why do you want to deliver this workshop? What's your main driver? So last week I shared with you 5 reasons why it might be useful. There's many more. These are just my 5 ideas. So this may be perhaps you want to increase your visibility or your audience growth. Perhaps you want to foster and grow the relationships with the people that you work with. Maybe it's just fun for you. Or perhaps you'd like some more financial gain, or maybe you want to hone your skills in a particular area. And maybe there's some other reason. So why do you want to deliver the workshop first of all? Because it's really important that you make sure that you actually want to deliver the workshop for you, and the reasons are your reasons. Because I have had it happen before where I put on a workshop because other people have suggested it. And that was in my people-pleasing era. I'm not in that era anymore much. So I definitely more than once put on workshops because other people said, oh, you're going to run a workshop this holiday. Oh, we'd really love it if you did. And I basically felt like I should because people asked for it. And I thought, well, everybody wants me to, and it makes sense, so I'll just put a workshop on. But actually what happened in that situation was it wasn't really the right time for me, and I ended up being a bit resentful for it, and organising it and planning it and the marketing of it felt quite rushed and quite stressy, and it didn't feel fun. So firstly, just check in with yourself. Is this something you want to do because you want to do it, or is it something that you want to do because other people have suggested it? And other people can suggest things and it still be the right thing to do for you, but sometimes we get caught up in people pleasing and thinking that this is what we should do. Also, another thing to consider is, do you have an outcome in mind for the people who are coming? So why, for those people, do you want to do this workshop? So maybe you'd like them to connect more with themselves or connect more with someone else. Maybe it's a family workshop or a partner workshop, and you want people to increase their connection through the wellness practices that you're going to share with them. Or maybe there's a specific theme that you'd like to dive in further that you haven't had opportunity to in your classes that you'd really like to get into. Or maybe there's some people have been asking about a particular thing and you'd like to teach that particular thing. So maybe that's your reason for the workshop. But be really clear about what your reason why is for you and also for the people who you want to attend. What's your reason? And then the next thing to think about is, who is it for? Who is it for and who is it not for? Now, I know we want to include everyone and we want to be like, yeah, come to my class, come to my workshop, everybody's welcome. And that's true, but sometimes it doesn't work if we try and include everyone, because it doesn't work for the people who it's really for. So be really clear in your mind about who it is for and who it is not for. I mean, obviously, we're not excluding people here, and we're not being, I don't know, unkind here. But who do you have in mind when you're creating it. So, for example, if it's for children, what age children is it for? Is there an age that you don't feel comfortable teaching? Don't teach that age. Just teach, keep within your lane of what you feel comfortable doing. Is it for families? Is it for families with children of a certain age? Is it for adults? If it is for adults, whereabouts are they on their journey? Is it for beginners, or is it for people who need special adjustments? Is it a type of gentle chair yoga? Or is it for people who are not beginners, they're quite advanced, and you're teaching something really specific and they will need a certain level to get something out of the workshop? So be really clear in your mind, who is it for and who is it not for? And then that will help you to consider whether you need any additional people to support you with your workshop. So, for example, if you're having children without their families, you're going to need to think carefully about how many children it's safe to have and whether you need an additional adult to help you in terms of safety and numbers, your insurance, your competency, the safety, basically. So have a think about those things. So after thinking about why and thinking about who, think about what. Now, we're not getting into the specifics here. We're just thinking big picture, not fine detail, not into the intricacies. So just what are the main things that you want to include? So do you want to incorporate some refreshments of some sort? Do you want some food or drink involved? Do you want to incorporate a craft? Or is there a particular special experience you'd like to bring in? Is there something that you've been wanting to try out that you really want to try out? So big pictures, big ideas what are the main things that you would like to incorporate without going into too much detail. So that could be, do you want to do some movement? Do you want to do some games? Do you want to do some journaling? What is it? What is it you want to do? Is there going to be nidra involved? Is there going to be some relaxation? What are the headline things? So we're not going down a rabbit hole and researching all the exciting things. That's the shiny bit. We're just thinking big picture. What are the main things you want to include? So after you've thought about why, who, and what, think about when. So we're not thinking about specific dates. I have definitely been before, again, in my people-pleasing era. I tried to get dates specific to the people who wanted to come, and I ended up, it was ridiculous. I'd be like, oh, people would suggest, oh, we want this workshop, and I'd be like, oh, what about the Saturday? Oh no, the Saturday doesn't work for me. Oh, I'd really like to come, but I can only do the Saturday. And then you get caught up in this whole thing, and it's stressful, and you can't please everyone. So don't try and please yourself, but at the same time, get a general feel for what times work for people in general. So we're talking, again, generality. What sort of days of the week work? Is it a midweek thing? Is it a weekend thing? What sort of times in the year work? Do you want to avoid school holidays, or do school holidays have no bearing on the people who are coming, and so it's not even something to consider? Do you need to think about, is it a morning thing, an afternoon thing, a whole day thing, a lunchtime thing? What generally is going to work for the people in your audience, the who? And so don't just guess or think, oh, well, if it was me, then I think this. You could do things like set up polls on your social media if you have that. You could email if you have the email addresses. You could communicate via whatever your mode of communication is regularly with the people who you'd like to come. Communicate via that way. I'm thinking of running a workshop. What sort of times would work for you? Would it be an afternoon thing or a morning thing? Would it be a weekend thing? Would it be a weekday thing? That sort of thing, not specific dates. So when you've thought about why, when you've thought about who, and when you've talked about when, think about where. So when you know all of that other information, what, who, when, why ish, it will be much easier to think about where. And I've been really pulled into this thing of finding a really nice venue and wanting to deliver a workshop in that venue because I like the venue, because I really love it. Like, spaces are really important to me, and the way a place feels has a big impact on me. And I've actually twice booked a hall because I really like the space, but then realized that actually, and it was a hall that was quite difficult to book as well, so I booked the available dates, and then it ended up not really working for the people who the workshop was for. So it was just my own, like, daydreaming. I really like that hall. So try and hold off on the venue until you've got the other information, unless you know that this venue is going to really work for that. So have a think about the things that you need to consider depending on who it is and what it is that you're teaching. So what facilities do you need? Are you going to need a baby change? Are you going to need, what sort of toilets will you need? And the toilet's okay there. I'm always thinking about toilets first. That's my number one question of anything. What are the toilets like? Are you going to need some sort of accessibility? Are there going to be people in wheelchairs or with pushchairs? Is the accessibility okay? Will you need a car park? Is the car park suitable? Do you need to be close to a station? Perhaps many of the people who come to these kind of things for you are going to travel by public transport. Do you need to be near to a station or near to a bus stop? Do you need any outside space? So you're going to play some games or do some mindfulness outside? Do you need a kitchen? Is the kitchen fit for purpose? Does it have everything that you need in there? All these things are to consider. What about the space inside? When you were thinking about what it is you want to deliver, is the space inside for that? Is the temperature appropriate? If you've got young babies coming or vulnerable populations, is the space inside warm enough? Is it easy to heat? Sometimes these big halls can look great, but then when you're in them, they're actually really cold. So just that's something to consider. Is it fit for purpose? Is it big enough? Try it with mats, because sometimes when you go and look at somewhere, it can feel bigger than it actually is. And I have done this once. I had a workshop. It was a family workshop. The hall looked really big, but then actually when I used it, and I did try with mats, but I think I just visualized a little bit wrong, and it ended up not really being ideal for the activity that I was doing. I mean, it was fine, but it wasn't perfect. I had to do a lot of shuffling around with furniture and stuff within the session. So everyone enjoyed it, they had a nice time, but I felt a little bit like venue wasn't brilliant. It wasn't really big enough for what I wanted to achieve. So these are all really important things to consider in the pre-planning stage, and I hope that you found this really useful. You can access a workbook that lists these questions in it, and I hope that will be helpful if you're planning a workshop. In the next video in the series, the third one in the series, is all about planning the practicalities of your workshop. I'd really love to know if you found this video useful, so please comment on it or send me an email. If you have any other questions, let me know. Again, comment on it or email me at julia@juliahankins.co.uk. Hope you found it helpful.